Remember, the YouTube ads feed the ducks.
Hello everybody, and it's August 24th of the Heirloom Organic Vegetable Garden Series, and well, I did some work in my garden this week, and it's looking it's a bad situation. But anyways, I'll give you the rundown here. So here's the situation. The tomatoes, I've got some tomatoes, but now the plants are starting to die. I've got like I think 1 or 2 ripe ones, unless we get some serious heat. Now the next 4 days, I hope I'm not jinxing this, but we're supposed to get some heat here. Actually, just show you here. You've got like there's a tomato there, but not much. It's sad. It's really sad. Next to no flowers on the plants. It's just so wet. As you can tell, I've done something about my weeds this week. I took the weed whacker. Thank you, Christopher, for that tip. Never even thought of it. Ended up weed whacking the whole thing, and it's one. I couldn't believe the amount of frogs. The amount of frogs. There was at least. And no lie, there was 50 frogs in my garden that took off when I started weed whacking. It was crazy. But the plant situation is bad. Like right here, this broccoli, it's pathetic. Nothing's forming. It's a absolute complete flop. This strain, I forget what. It doesn't matter. Both strains are flops, but so it doesn't even matter where I got them from. The the pepper situation is really bad. Like there's next to no peppers. You know, it's just, I can't believe the plants. But then again, you know, when I was weed whacking, I was walking through the garden. It was like a sponge. It was so wet. You know, and like these plants, this strain of jalapeno, this is the strain that I got. You know, the 28 pounds or I think it was 28 pounds off of 7 plants. It was ridiculous what I got. I'm not going to get you know, very much. The plants are actually dying. It's so wet, and I've got black spots on them. They're not nice peppers at all. They're I don't want to show you here. I didn't know what I was doing. I was showing the wrong way. I was looking the wrong way and pointing the camera, so it's hard to get the sun's in the wrong direction for me right now. So the pepper plants are a dismal failure for this year. I can't believe it. Like this, you know, I'm going to top up my pepper supply, but that's it. Like, you know, I remember the first time I grew these, it was nuts what we got. Now, as far as the beets are concerned, the Detroit red beets here, the germination rate was really bad. Next to nothing germinated, so it's like a lot of nothing happened. It's just it's bad. So anyways, I've got some snap peas. Not a lot of snap pea action happening because the germination on them was really bad. The parsnips, this is really sad. That's all that came through, and I actually handpicked the weeds around the parsnips because I didn't want to accidentally whack them with the weed whacker, and that's all there was. So I'm not holding my breath on that, but I do have 7 bags frozen of parsnips from last year, so I'm pretty good there. Rutabaga, thankfully I've got a lot of rutabaga frozen, but there will be something out of this. I don't know how much, but the plants are a fraction of the size they should be. Now the carrots, they're growing great. You know, I thin them out, and you know they've exploded in size. You know, they've actually, well, let's just pull one here. I haven't even pulled one. What do we got? Oh yeah, there we got carrots happening here. So September, I'll have carrots. You know, so we'll have some carrots, which is good. There's only got 2 bags left. Onions, I did some hand pulling in here. Not only did I weed whack, but I went down the center and pulled some. There's lots of onion happening. You know, it's but once again, it's so wet that there's no roots on anything. Even the weeds I was pulling, there was next to no roots on the weeds. I couldn't believe it. They were the smallest roots I've ever seen. Then we've got this is the cauliflower. No, this is the broccoli. Actually, the first one I showed you was the cauliflower. I got them mixed up here. Just starting to get some heads forming on this. It's pretty bad. There's not much happening here. This batch of carrots is going good. Now, this is the part that I've got a ton of snow peas. Now, I also happen to have 7 bags still frozen from last year. So I've got snow peas, you know, up to yin yang here. The one plant that I didn't need to have come through for me, you know, came through. Actually, I can't believe the amount of snow peas that we have on here. It's absolutely crazy, the amount of on these plants. Like, I don't know if this is showing up with the sun here right now, but you know, we've got some serious snow pea action. And my green beans and yellow beans, believe it or not, like, there's still nothing forming on them yet. They're like, I've got a little bit of flower action happening, but and then plus the germination rate sucked. Now we've got over here the spaghetti squash. I've got a couple squash that are forming. Not a lot of action happening here. It is pretty bad. You know, like it's after I weed whacked, you know, I was shocked how bad the garden was. I was like, whoa. You know, and then the zucchini is starting to grow. But you know, that's another plant I've got tons frozen still from last year. So I've got zucchini coming to the yin yang. Well, the ducks are getting these right now. They're eating them up really fast, actually. And these ones here are coming through. I'm going to be doing a harvest this week of velours. They're just starting to fill out. Now, hopefully, the heat wave that we're going to get hit with here, we got a heat wave coming, it's not going to kill these plants. Because the problem is that none of these plants have any roots. So if we get a really wicked heat wave, and you know, because we've got no roots on any of these plants, you know, there's next to no roots on anything. Everything that I pulled yesterday, I was shocked how there was next to no roots, because the ground is so wet. Like, I was walking around and it felt like a, you know, like a sponge. This broccoli, it's a joke too. You know, we've got a little bit of action happening here. I'll try to zoom in for you on here. I'm just gonna step over the fence. Like, that's it. And it's as soon as it's coming to head, it's starting to break out in flower. So it's oh, look at that, we got a rogue tomato plant. Crazy, those tomato seeds. So the broccoli, you know, I think it's the root is the problem. It's the root. There's not enough roots on anything. And the corn's the same situation. Nothing, absolutely nothing forming on the corn. And it's, you know, really, honestly, even this end is too small. This plant should have been this high, you know, 2.5 weeks ago. And this is, it's in this end, this is going to be nothing. There's going to be nothing forming on this. I almost should have just weed whacked this end right off, but we'll leave it for now. Like, there's not even tassels forming on the top of the plants to pollinate or anything. Like, I might end up getting absolutely no corn, considering that this is the 24th of August. I could end up getting nothing. So the garden sucks, but at least I've you know, got the weeds under control. It took about 3.5 hours actually, even with the weed whacker, to surgically go through. You know, I hit I'd say probably about 6 plants to get nipped off, but still a lot faster. Instant mulch. So I just it looks like a garden, but unless we get some nice growing weather, and you know, the next 4 days, and then, you know, the cold weather's back. So, you know, I was looking at the forecast and it just sucks. This summer just sucks. Anyways, lots of water and not much growing.